We should all be now recording, and that's it.
Cool.
Thanks for being here, mate.
No worries.
This is good. This is I've wanted to get you on here for a little while because of you've actually, unlike a lot of people, you've got a hobby and a passion.
Yeah, I try to. Yeah, it's difficult these day and age, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you're into cars, aren't you?
Massively. Yeah.
Massively into cars.
Yeah.
Wait, how long's that been?
When
did you start? What got you started on it?
I'm not quite sure really. I know it's for a young age. It was always cars, even if it was just. I remember literally as a child, I had one of those mats with the fake town on, your little toy cars, and
So I had one of them.
Yeah.
I think I think I said I had one of them.
Still
I was suddenly thinking whether I still got it, and I think I've got a Star Wars one, which is a Star Wars playmat thing. Yeah. So you had that from what age 4 or something?
Yeah,
like
something
that?
like that. It just stemmed from there, and it was just.
Did you have a Fisher Price garage?
No, it wasn't quite that top notch.
I had a Fisher Price garage and a Hot Wheels garage as well, which I inherited.
I just had a giant box of Hot Wheels cars.
Mate, it was like a 1970s. Now I actually inherited it from my cousins. I had 3 older cousins.
Yeah.
And their toys were always cooler because they were just total boys' toys.
Yeah.
And they had this Hot Wheels, and it was like a carry case, and then it popped open, and then it had like a whole service centre. It was like it had like all the services, and then it had like a road that went from the top to the bottom that you could run the cars down and everything like that. It's crazy, and it was all Hot Wheels Matchbox size.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with this thing. I was obsessed, but yeah, that's when it starts, isn't it? When those kind of things happen.
And again, it's gravitating to something that I've known for quite a while,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just one of those things that I've just latched into and I find interesting.
So when did you get your first car?
It was a bit late for me, really, so I didn't start driving. I think it's about 4 years now I've been driving.
Okay.
So it's not been too long.
Right.
And yeah, I think I left college, struggled to get a job in IT.
Yeah.
Because they want real world experience, not qualifications.
Right.
And they won't give you real world experience
Without
real world experience. So
egg chicken.
yeah. So I went into retail for a bit, just to find a job to keep me going. Eventually got an apprenticeship, and then whilst I was doing my apprenticeship, I then learnt to drive and bought my first car.
Oh, okay.
So
You passed first time.
yep, I failed my theory once,
Yeah.
and then passed that, and then passed the practical first time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I failed my theory first time. I had to take a retake, and that was it. But Milton Keynes is a weird place to learn to drive.
Can't imagine.
It's about 400 roundabouts, 300, 400 roundabouts.
Yeah.
But they take you to Bletchley to learn to drive because that's old. Because that's got actual road systems, like old road systems. Whereas around the grid system of Milton Keynes, it's just a racetrack. It's just like 70, then up to the next roundabout, 70, up to the next roundabout, 70, up to the next roundabout. Your clutch just gets murdered in that place, and it's so much traffic now. It's like I went there not that long ago, and it was like LA. So yeah, ridiculous place to learn to drive.
Can't imagine.
Yeah, so I'm surprised that you didn't kind of like straight away at kind of, was it 16 you can drive?
Yeah, I wanted to. It was just money, really. Again, I was in education at the time. I looked for a job, but there wasn't anything I could do that wouldn't take away from my sort of learning.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to focus on that to build myself up as a career and stuff like that. So when I did eventually get a job, it was enjoying the money whilst it came in, and then realising, I should probably do something with this instead of just spending it.
So when you got a car, is that when you started going to meets, or did you?
Yeah, no,
you just got it through your peer group, did you?
Yeah, so initially, I got the first car I bought from a friend I worked with.
Mm-hmm.
So a Mark 6 Fiesta.
Mm-hmm.
I think there is a picture on there.
A Mark 6 Fiesta?
I think it was a 5. I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
They keep changing them. I can't remember, but it was proper boy racer's car. Near the bottom.
Okay.
It was. There's quite a few pictures. Sorry.
Well, we're gonna go. I'll tell you what. We'll go into this in a bit because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually whatever pictures that we show here, I'm gonna actually put up so that people can properly see them.
Yeah.
On the YouTube channel. And for those of you that are listening on a podcast right now, hopefully you are listening on the podcast right now. You can go to the YouTube channel and you can see all of these wonderful pictures, which works much better on that medium.
Yeah.
Because it seems though it's audio only on this one.
So it started really from, obviously got the first car. Technically I bought it before I could even drive, which is a bit of a weird one. So my friend was leaving the place I used to work, and he said, I'm leaving, I'm selling my car. And I always liked his car, I loved this car. It was like a proper ideal boy racer first car. It was
really
small little hatchback.
I love the hot hatch.
Really loud exhaust.
Yeah.
No interior.
No interior.
It was great. Yeah, there was no back seats on it. It was literally proper race car-esque.
There's no back seats.
No. It was great, and I loved that thing. When I bought it, I was told they had sports cat on it, a sports catalytic converter.
Really?
Took it for his first MOT. The guy was like, yeah, it's just got a straight through. It's a 3.5 inch straight through with no cat.
Okay.
Goes, yeah, well, you failed emissions.
This is like a cannon.
Pretty much, yeah. It was loud. I nearly got an ASBO with that car as well.
Really?
Yeah, I used to work in a school, and obviously I had to get there.
You got an ASBO while working in school?
I had to obviously get to school before school started.
Okay.
So I used to be there really early, and obviously people getting woken up by the sound of a very loud exhaust is not the best or most enjoyable thing. So I got threatened a few times with an ASBO with that car, but unfortunately wrote it off. Nothing drastic, but it was it was stupid. So it was a rainy day, literally driving to work. Yeah. And the person before me cut the arches on the car.
Okay.
To get it lower.
Right.
So they then didn't put anything in there instead. So literally you could open the bonnet and see the tyres, which isn't recommended. So it obviously takes away from some of the structure as well. So at the time I was planning to get that fixed, but later on down the road, hit a huge puddle, water went up in the engine, and then got sucked in, and that was it.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that was the end of the first car. So
I think I had a GTI Golf that did that. I was picking up a car for my mum out in Buckingham, I think it was. Yeah. And she needed a 4x4 because she was going to Spain. Yeah. So I took my mate with me and I said, will you drive my car? And it was like the rainiest, most wettest day ever. Yeah. And I got this 4x4 and I said, right, follow me home. And off I went, and he was following me, and there was this massive puddle. And I'm like, I'm a 4x4 because I was never driven a 4x4 before. So smash straight through the 4, like that. And I was like, I beat you home. I got all the way back to Milton Keynes. And then I suddenly realised that he wasn't behind me. Yeah. Like, he wasn't there. So I'm calling, getting no answer. He's got my keys to my house. Yeah. So I'm kind of, stranded. Find out he didn't accelerate enough through the puddle, and it just sucked up water into the engine, and my flipping Golf just got absolutely drenched. Took me about a week to get it sorted. Yeah. In Buckingham, when I actually lived in Milton Keynes, it was a nightmare. So yeah, I feel your pain with that one. Yeah,
again, first car, I didn't really know what to do. Do you know what I mean? I went to a few garages. They quoted me, I think it was about £600 to fix. Bear in mind, it's a cheap car. It wasn't worth much in the first place.
Because it was soak alternators is one of the main things that it did with mine. It was like completely soak it.
So mine, actually sucked the water into the engine. So
it did.
The bottom
it was completely flooded.
Yeah, so the bottom end completely went. Yeah. So it was literally a new engine. That's what they're quoting.
So what did you do?
So in the end, mine was a 1.6, which was quite unusual. They're usually 1.25s. Yeah. The 1.6 are sort of the rarer ones, which is again why I was interested.
Bigger engine,
So it was going to be nigh impossible to get a 1.6 engine. Okay. So it was going to be, I want to say I can't remember if they're 1.7 or 1.8 Puma, Ford Puma. That's like a common conversion.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, and again, it would cost the same to get that engine as it would realistically to get another car. And then I've still got the issue with the arches and all the other stuff. In the end, I think I sold it for pretty much scrap. The guy came and collected it for £200-300. I think it's still going, to be fair. I think he's engine swapped it and he tracks it. But I was like, I just need something reliable for now. If I want something a bit nicer or boy racier later on, I can buy that. But for a commuter, which is what I needed it for, to and from work, I need something I can rely on.
Got to be sensible, innit?
And something a bit bigger as well. Obviously, being as tall as I am, getting into a Fiesta is a bit of a struggle. It was like a clown car for me, but I loved that thing. So our next one was a Focus, Mark 1 Focus.
Oh, I had a Focus as well.
To be fair, I used to hate that thing, and then I do miss it to an extent. It was just, it was reliable. Literally get in, turn the key, worked, and that was it.
Also, I had an ESP, so I had a Focus ESP when I worked for Countrywide Fair, so I was about 21, 22.
Yeah.
Suddenly given this brand new, straight off the lot car. It was ESP, which was extra traction control that was Colin McRae spec or something like that. Traction control. The thing was just, it was a 3-door, and it was nippy, but it was the handling.
Yeah.
You just wheeled it round corners. I mean, I'd hardly need to even think, and it would just adjust, and it was so slick, and I was like, this is a really high level car, which is not what I expected from a Ford Focus. I'm going to be honest, because this was a while ago. This was about 20 years ago. So, it surprised me. So they are good cars.
They're not bad. I mean, the one I had was old. It was a £500 car, so again, wasn't expecting much.
When you said old, it was probably the same reg as the one I had.
It was an 04, so it was probably newer. It was
because it was.
I think 04, 05 was the last year of the Mark 1.
I think 2000 they gave me it, so mine was 2000.
04, 05 was the last year of the Mark 1, so mine was just on the cusp of the Mark 2.
Yeah.
But no, I loved that thing. It was never any issues, literally. Yeah. And from then on, I enjoyed it, and it was good fun. Ended up spending more than I spent on the car changing the clutch, but
really,
yeah, it was one of those things. Kept it going for a while, and then when I left the apprenticeship and got a full-time job, I say full-time, my pay packet pretty much doubled, if not more. So I went from owning a 1618 Focus.
Right.
I was like, I want something nicer. I was going to be doing a lot of commuting at the time. It was I think we had to drive up to Scunthorpe at one point. That was one of the ones, and it was a regular one. And then there was Thetford, Ely, Blandford. There's a few of them we had to drive to, so I needed something comfortable. Again, being my height, I struggle to find anything comfortable. And I'd always wanted a Lexus, so I just thought, I've got the chance now.
It's strange. I want to find out why, because Lexus, I always kind of associated when I was kind of growing up as like Lexus was like in the 90s the thing that people aspired to in America, and Lexus was this kind of thing, but I didn't see that many of them over here. No. And of course you got the you had the association with Alan Partridge, who was a Lexus driver and everything like that. So to actually see somebody actually using it the way that he does, I'm actually quite surprised. Let me just turn that off, because I've just realised that the TV is on, and it should. I even put a fire on because I was a bit nippy. But as much as I love Tipping Point, well, my mum loves Tipping Point. That's it with mum. Does your mum watch Tipping Point? Like every time you. She
watched a lot of rubbish in the background.
Yeah, me and John Parry, like we compared like what our mums watch on TV, and it seemed to be the same thing. So it was like Catchphrase, Tipping Point, and The Chase, on constantly. Like, and if it's not on the live version, it was on Challenge TV.
I think my mum's a bit different then. She watches, so she's massively into reading. And with that, she likes to read detective novels and stuff like that, mystery stuff. And
my mum's a heavy reader.
So she's stumbled upon, I think it was one of the Discovery Channel channels. Yeah. There's a program of like a former detective. He was like a murder investigator for like 23 years or whatnot, and he just retells some of the cases. And she watches that on repeat, and every now and again when I come down in the morning to get ready to work, I'm like, I'm pretty sure I've seen this just from walking down. I was like, why are you watching it again? Oh, it's just on.
Reruns. Yeah. My mum reads, she only reads, I said, you only read books about poor people, like from the olden days. Yeah. And she went, no, I don't. I said, yeah, you always read books. I said, if you saw a book on a shelf, like all these books, you would pick the one book that looks like there's like people in a workhouse on the front of it, like in either war-torn or Victorian times, and it was like, and you'd gravitate to just reading about these people and this strife and everything. She goes, oh, well, I suppose you're right. And it is. It's like there is like a genre for that. I didn't realise that there was. Like, oh, working class poor, okay, working class struggle, not kitchen sink drama, because that's a little bit later. Yeah. But yeah, it is funny. But anyway, I digress. So the Lexus, that is your current car. Yep. And how many years you had that now?
It's come up to 3.
So 3 years, and it's going all right for you, because obviously you're now attending all of your meets and everything now. Yeah. Which is again, that's that community that you've kind of joined. Yeah. And so when did that start, when you got that first car?
So it started when I got a second car.
When it was the second car. Yeah. So it was when it was the Focus.
Yeah. So I was always interested in car community and stuff like that. I'd never really had exposure to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's me or just anyone else, but especially going into something new like that with a community where people know everyone and know each other, it's a bit daunting and can be a bit scary.
Well, so you went in with someone? So
initially, my friend Grant, we went to a thing at Northfield Airfield.
Yeah,
they used to do a thing that was run what you brung.
Okay.
So people would literally drive there with cars. Sometimes they're trailer like race cars and stuff, and it would be like a drag strip. They'd just go up and down it, and that was it really. And when it went to one of them with my friend Grant, we started looking around this car, and this guy he knew me, which is I didn't. From school, he was like, "Oh, are you so and so?" I was like, "Oh yeah." He goes, "Oh, I don't live too far from you."
Okay.
We went to school together and stuff like that. I was like, "Oh, okay."
And that was it, car enthusiast.
Yeah. So we just started talking to him, and he's literally after that event, he's like, "Oh, we're going to meet up for a bit later on tonight. Do you want to come?"
And that's it.
That was it. Yeah. And I was
and
like,
just in. Yeah. So how many do you go? I mean, what's the biggest events that you've gone to?
It's hit miss. So.
Or I tell you what, it's probably not the idea to actually say biggest. Yeah. What's your favourite? What's the best one you've been to?
Again, it's difficult. There's two sides of it. There's the commercial, normal side where it's like Silverstone and big events like that. And then there's like the evening after work sort of thing where it's...
when it's just an impromptu meet at a cafe
or
type thing.
Somewhere in London, or they do this thing called tunnel runs. So literally they'll put out tunnels. Yeah, go through them. But there's usually a route, and then you'll meet up beforehand, have a little meet, and then meet up afterwards.
Is it mainly cars, or the bikes go as well?
Some bikes go, yeah. It's sort of... There's a
bit of a rider community going on now as well, isn't there? Like people have got kind of like dirt bikes and mopeds and stuff like that, which are kind of that little rider community going on.
I think it's more accessible potentially, purely because of the way you get your license for a 50cc bike. Yeah, it's just a CVT, isn't it? So it's that's a bit more accessible, as well as buying a moped
and the cost
of the car. Yeah, and again, cost of running.
Because running a car isn't cheap.
No,
it's never been cheap. No. But I imagine now it's even more expensive. Because I mean, like, I remember when I was driving, it was like petrol was under £1.
No.
A litre. So now it's right up there. So, but I imagine it's hard to actually keep up.
It is, yeah. I'm now limiting myself to sort of events I go to, purely because I'm spending so much money on petrol.
Yeah.
I mean, a full tank for me is about 80 quid, and that's about 300 miles.
But do you need the kind of... I know you're a fan of the cars and everything like that, but, to actually attend these events and do what you do, do you need one of those cars?
No, not really. No, it depends what you want to get out of it, if that means. So I like to go and I like to show my car and see what other people do and stuff like that. If you just purely want to look at other stuff, you don't even need to have a car. You can walk.
That's what I mean. Do you ever probably maybe see yourself as like, if you really got into, the photography and, actually like, making it your main thing of like, well, I'm going to either support myself by taking pictures at these events, you would much rather go in like a diesel van, economical with all your gear in it,
Yep.
like secure, like, you know, and you can do all kinds of things. Would you probably consider that?
Yeah. So the big thing and the big reason I got a Lexus in the first place as well, it's different. You don't see many of them.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, we did touch on that earlier.
Yeah.
I was just like, I was quite surprised because it's not your standard.
No.
It's not your standard car, is it?
No,
I think Honda Accord was the kind of
Yeah.
car that I always thought was the souped up. You know what people kind of get. Oh, you know, you get a Skyline, get a Honda Accord, something like that, and they look great when they're modded. But to see a Lexus actually in that ring was quite surprising.
It's different. It caters to a different type as well. It's it was quite easy for me to go out and buy something that the same as everyone else. I just wanted to be a bit more unique and put my own sort of flair on it, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think it sort of stemmed, the Lexus thing, it sort of stemmed from a young age when I think the family were looking for a new car.
Right.
And we ended up going to the auction up in Mannheim's.
Okay.
There's a local auction near here. And they sell everything, don't they? It's usually for traders and stuff like that, but you can't privately purchase stuff. So we were looking at cars. Yeah. And I just walked past this IS200.
Okay.
I just saw it, obviously never saw a Lexus before. Yeah. I was like, oh, what's this? Started talking to my dad about it, and I was just, loved it. I thought, this is just really cool. I've never seen one, and I thought, this is awesome. So, and it always stuck in the back of my head. I was like, someday I want to own a Lexus. Okay. Not even necessarily an IS200,
That's
but
weird.
just Lexus.
Yeah, I had the same thing with Golfs. Yeah. So when I got my first Golf, it was a Mach 3. It was like a Mach 3 green GTI, and I was like, I had that for ages, and then I ended up with a car in between. I think it was a Peugeot. It was just a friend sold it to me because I just needed a runaround car. But then when it came to actually purchase this one, which is this GTI Mach 5 GTI, and I'm just keeping it going. I have no desire to drive anything else. That's when you find that sweet spot of like, I like these cars. This is my brand. Yeah. This is my car. I'd only probably ever consider if I needed to make an upgrade and if I was actually had the finances to do the electric thing. Yeah. Take the jump into electric. I would be looking at Volkswagen as being the when they have a good electric offering. Yeah. Which I've heard they are supposed to be releasing something this year, aren't they?
I'm not sure about this year. I know they've been testing and putting stuff out there. They did a couple of years back, VW bus. Okay. And that was an all-electric version. Yeah. It was like a concept prototype. They actually made it and gave it to some influencers, and they drove it around for a bit and just gave their thoughts on it. So it was. Was
it received positively?
Yeah, people loved it.
Really?
They thought, if Volkswagen can produce this in this day and age, it will sell massively.
See, what do you think about that? I mean, with electric car stuff, everybody is very. I mean, just to give you an example of how kind of like environment conscious people are. Yeah. I went to a supermarket today, and the butcher area, the area of the meat section, they were standing around twiddling their thumbs. Nobody going near them. And it was much the same in all the aisles. All the veggie ready meals, all the vegetable, pre-prepared and everything like that, mobbed. People are consciously being pushed, or not pushed, but they're being suggested that they go for vegetarian options to stop their meat intake. Yeah. I saw it on Jamie Oliver last night. About 3 out of 4 of his recipes were all vegetarian. Yeah. And now the media is kind of pushing in that way. So with cars, electric seems to be the new thing. I don't think the big oil companies are ready to push people, and I think the government has got to actually like push people quite soon, because they've got a pledge to, was it 2050 or something like that, to actually have complete, zero carbon out of cars or something like that. With your particular interests and all of your community and everything like that, and is electric cars coming in? Are people considering it? I mean, they are quick. Yeah. ridiculously quick.
Yeah.
Those cars.
The issue is the range. Obviously,
it's the range.
The more the technology is out there, the more it will improve, and the better it will get. So, and again, it all depends. So the car community is massive. It's not just looks; it's performance. So there's an event in Northfield. It's normally near the end of the year called Players. Yeah. And what they do is they get 2 of the hangars out there, kick all the planes out, they stick some cars in there.
Okay.
And then they've got the tarmac area and the grass outside for other people.
Nice.
So it's sort of hand-picked people for the hangars and stuff like that. Last year, there was a Tesla Model X.
Oh, okay. Is that the one with the gull wing?
It is.
Yeah, so the gull wing doors. Yeah.
And it looked like the guy had lowered it and put different wheels on it.
Really?
Which is impressive. Again, the amount of technology in these cars.
Yeah.
You touch anything and it will refuse to do anything.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So mine's very similar. If when I first got it, topped up with petrol, and just out of old habit, I'd tighten the cap lightly. Didn't want to over tighten it, because I thought that was a thing. Turns out it's not. Got halfway home and the engine management light came on.
Oh.
And I started googling it, going, "What have I just bought a dodgy car? What's going on?" Turns out if you don't tighten the petrol cap enough,
right,
air gets into it.
Okay.
So it thinks there's too much air getting in.
Yeah.
Which then turns traction control off, engine management on, and all you need to do is tighten the petrol cap.
Oh wow. Okay. So
I read that, I was like, "Oh, this is ridiculous." It's one of those, "Oh, have you tried this?" And it's not even relevant. Turns out it was. Yeah, went out, tightened it, turned it off and on a few times, and gone. So,
education.
Yeah, so it's impressive. So it's quite funny. Go on the Lexus forums and first thing everyone usually comments is, "Oh, have you try tightening your petrol cap?" And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it's a great joke." Yeah, actually, it's a thing. Yeah,
it is a thing.
It is actually a thing. Yeah,
a quirk of that model.
Yeah. Another quirk, it's got in the glove box there's a random button. It's not labelled at all. I pushed this. I was like, I wonder what this does. Nothing happened. So I pushed it a few times. Lost count of what I'd done. So I was like, all right, shut the glove box. Nothing happened. And then for like the next 6 months, I couldn't open my boot. I didn't know it was linked because I hadn't gone and needed to get into the boot until a couple of days later.
Right.
I was like, the motor in the boot must have broken. So I had to use the key to manually open it.
Okay.
And then I literally then was like, I'm sick of this. I'm fed up of just trying to do this every time. I'm going to Google it and try and figure out what the issue is. If I need a motor and what motor and all this. And again, some guy was like, "Oh, have you turned the... there's a button in the glove box. So you push that by any chance?" I was like, "What?" He goes, "Oh, it's valet mode. It stops people being able to get in the car or the boot opening." I was like,
"Oh.
Is that a thing?" I went out and pushed it again. Boot opened fine. I was like,
what's the purpose of the valet mode?
Yeah, I think it's so
when you're having car cleaned.
Yeah, or if you put your car in for, like, you go to a hotel and they park it for you.
Oh, yeah.
To stop people rifling around or going through your boot or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, because you can't open the boot.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So.
But you've already given the keys, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit strange. So mine, the key literally needs to be near the boot for it to open.
Oh, okay.
So it's quite funny when you get the car washed, they try to open the boot and they just can't. Boot.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can't do it. Here you go.
Yeah. So, but no, it's that thing's got loads of weird quirks and features. But no,
features.
I love it. It's great. And again, it's a weird car because of its age and sort of the price of it. It's a steal for what it is.
Yeah.
But you get a lot of technology with it as well. So I've got obviously the built-in sat-nav, heated and cooled seats.
Yeah.
I've even got a rear window blind.
That's more of a trait with Asian cars, though, isn't it?
I think so.
Asian cars packed full of features.
Yeah.
And it's the major car companies are kind of getting. I think they're fighting back now.
Yeah.
Or because of that, it changed the marketplace. Because I do remember a time. It's probably still the same on the higher brands like Mercedes and things like that, but it used to be like, oh yeah, you want all this, oh yeah, it's great, but you got to pay extra for this, extra for this, extra for this, and you look at some of it and most of it is like, well, that's turned on via software, so you can probably just find someone to turn that on via software rather than actually pay the garage or pay the wherever you bought it from.
BMWs are the same at the moment.
It's crazy.
There's weird stuff.
It's so wrong.
It's
just turn it all on. If the car's got it, just turn it all on.
It's like I don't even call it a feature. It's more of a gimmick or a personalisation touch. So like when you walk away from the car and you lock it, you can have it flash like the hazards and stuff like that, or
Yeah.
you can do it in patterns, and you can choose to do that. But again, you have to unlock that. It's not.
I don't get it. I don't understand why. All these cars are actually built with all this stuff in.
Yeah.
Unless you actually need to add specific hardware to the car to enable something. Say, like, if it hasn't got Bluetooth, then you need a Bluetooth adapter to actually do it. But if it's just a software-driven, enable the Bluetooth adapter.
Yeah.
Oh, but we can do that for £300 or something like that. That's wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's terrible.
It's the same with gaming, though, isn't it?
In what way?
Well, you buy a game, and technically half
With
the
DLC.
DLC's already on the disc. All you're doing is downloading a key for it to say, "Oh, you can use this now."
I guess you're right, because you got the base game, but if you want the really good stuff, then but yeah, I don't know. I kind of
again, it's not all DLC, but some of it, some manufacturers,
and also a lot of DLC is rubbish. So, but with a car of course, you want every feature that car has got on four wheels. There's no feature, even if you never use the features. Yeah. Now, I know for like my uncle's got a really brand new Mercedes 4x4, and it's got everything enabled. He don't use none of it.
No,
none of it. I drove it once, and I just was using everything. I was just cruise control. She goes, "What's that? Never used cruise control before." I was like, he's got like a skylight in there. I own the skylight. Oh, I don't know. We never used that, do we? I said Bluetooth. I Bluetooth my phone to it. I said I can do it. What's that you doing? I just had no clue. Brand new, 1-year-old 4x4 Mercedes just didn't enable any of it. That annoys me, because you've obviously paid a premium to actually have all that stuff enabled, and you're not even using it. Yeah. So I don't know, but it's that's a personal choice. But I think all of that stuff should be enabled straight away.
I think from a lot of Japanese brands, at least it is. There aren't very many, at least for my car. I think the only optional extra was a better sound system. Again, the one I've got there it's good anyway.
Yeah.
I think it was obviously for Audis you've got Bang & Olufsen. I think
it's B&Os. Yeah. Well, it used to be Blaupunkt. It's
one of the two.
It used to be Blaupunkt. Used to be like the German.
Yeah.
So we used to buy head units with Blaupunkt, and it was usually now Blaupunkt's. I don't know.
Still going.
It's still going, but it's more. It does like cheap TVs and stuff like that now.
Yeah.
But Blaupunkt used to be a reputable. It was up there with kind of. I suppose Kenwood was not bad back in the day as well. I think they're a bit mass market now, though, aren't they?
I think so. I think it's more, you need a head unit with Bluetooth, here you go, less than £100. I think it's more like that than less feature-driven or experimental tech. It's less...
Have you got an aftermarket head unit?
I'm debating it. I haven't at the moment. Again, with my age of the car, it's really annoying. It doesn't have Bluetooth.
Yeah, see, now
It does, but that's to answer phone calls, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, my one, because it had the standard just radio in it, which I must admit was great quality.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even digital. I don't think. I don't think it was DAB, but I was getting all my radio stations were fine, and there was a CD changer in there as well.
Yeah.
Which I never used.
Nope.
Now I've got an aftermarket Android unit, which I've had for must be nearly 3 years now, 2 or 3 years. And I tell you what, that thing does struggle. It does struggle when you actually run applications on it.
Yeah.
But today I was at the car wash and waiting in line for the car wash because my car was black, and I was just like, I ain't got time, so I'll just go through. I was sitting there because I'll take my mum shopping, and I was sitting there. And I just put on YouTube music, just tethered it to my phone, put on YouTube music, and it brought the videos up and everything, and it was all working great. A little bit slow, but it was all working great. And then I Bluetooth to it, and I could play music on my phone. I was just like, this Bluetooth feature for calls and all that, this whole head unit, not all of it works perfectly. That one feature is worth the whole worth the whole thing, because it interacts with devices where I have my media on.
Yeah. So I've had to get a workaround with you plug it into a light socket and it creates its own radio station.
Yeah.
And then you Bluetooth your phone to that.
Yeah. And
then it'll play the music from that, and then you tune your radio to pick it up.
Yeah.
And to be fair, the quality is good. I can't complain on that front.
Yeah, it should be digital. Yeah. I find that because I used so I use YouTube Music and I use Spotify Music.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Spotify stream is as good quality as the YouTube Music one. I'm going to be honest. I found it a lot more bassy and a lot more clearer on the YouTube Music one. But I think that's just kind of streaming services really.
Potentially.
How much their bitrate is.
You can adjust the EQ settings within Spotify as well. So
you can, yeah.
I've done that and
I've got some EQ settings on the actual head unit itself. But it's solid. I'm just waiting for it to go ping. I've had one problem with it, which was the touchscreen. There was one area of the touchscreen which was the bottom area, which is where all the menus were, completely went.
Yeah.
So I contacted them and I said, like, what do I do? They said, well, if you we will send you a new screen if you pay for the postage of the screen.
Yeah.
And I said, all right, how much is that? So I think it was like 20 quid or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll send you a video on how to fit it. And I said, oh, okay. So I managed to actually find somebody who's just down there. There's just down the road, there's a guy that does PCs. And he watched the video and he went, yeah, I can do it. And he charged me 20 quid. So I got it back together for about 40 quid. So I've only spent an extra 40 quid on it, but it's all working. So fingers crossed. But it made the whole car seem current.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that Golf... It was great. It's GTI. It all looks nice inside, blah, 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 but it didn't feel like a 21st century car.
Yeah.
Even though it was 21st century car for modern standards, because it had that just standard head unit.
Yeah.
Now it's got that in it. It changes everything.
Yeah. No, that's mine's the same. It's an 05 and it's got a tape player in it.
Yeah, tape players.
It's got a tape player, so I've never use it. Never use it. No one's never gonna use it.
Tapes.
Yeah. So. I
got a box of tapes.
Yeah, I don't want to.
You should take one.
No, you keep them.
Take one.
Keep your tapes.
It was back from my DJ days. You can listen to a mix.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. But you can get a aftermarket Tesla style head unit for it.
Okay.
Because the way my head unit is, it's not just a screen.
Yeah.
There's climate control and stuff underneath it as well.
Right.
So if I was to swap it out, I need to swap out the majority of that center console. And luckily you can. So this Tesla style unit, it literally plugs and plays straight into the factory wiring, and you've got your climate control within an app within tablet. Yeah. So it does look very nice. Okay. My concerns are it's just the speed of it. Yeah. Again, with that style of tablet, they're not very high RAM, so you are waiting around a lot. Yeah. I'm happy with what I've got at the moment. Yeah. If I want to turn the heating off, I just push off. I don't want to have to go into a menu, wait for it to load. Yeah. Then hit off and. I'm dragging my heels on it, and I'm waiting for other people within the community to do it. There's quite a few people that have done it, and I'm just looking at their pros and cons. Yeah, let them try it out. Pretty much. I mean, I want to say it's a good £400 or £500, which isn't bad on the grand scheme of things, especially for the looks and aesthetics of it. And it adds a lot more features over the current one. Yeah. And that's not including fitting. So again, I've watched videos on how to do it. It doesn't seem too difficult. So I feel like I could tackle it myself, but I'd rather see a few more people get it, and again, if enough people are buying it, the company might then improve it, and so it works out better for everyone. So that's what I'm hoping for at the moment. But yeah, I'm sort of struggling to figure out what I want to do next with it. So you're not looking to kind of like change the car specifically, but you just want it a little more creature comforts in it. I think so. Yeah, I think it's again because a lot of the shows we go to, they're a good couple-hour drive. Yeah, it's not economical for that. No, it's really not. And it's again, if you want to be. If I'm going to these things, I want to be comfortable. Absolutely, yeah. So, Silverstone's not too bad. I think it's about an hour, 2 hour drive. Well, it depends, really, man. Like I said, you like having a car and everything like that. But really, if you want to up the amount of exposure that you get to these, get more content, and we're going to look at your pictures in a minute, because I'm going to put links in the description as well, so I want people to look at these pictures. You might have to find that, well, if you might need to kind of like take it back on that, make it more economical to get to and from these places. And do you know what, that might actually work out eventually to your favour, because if you think about it, if you go to more meets and you get more content, you get more pictures, you get more people looking at the pictures and everything like that, it might actually generate enough revenue for you to end up with a play car. Like a car that plays. What's it bloody like? So yeah, no, I'm looking at potentially getting something I've spoken to you about. It's a daily anyway, so something that's more economical. I can put the Lexus away for a bit, work on it, and it's not draining me fuel money.
Yeah, so just to get the daily.
Yeah, so I was looking at a diesel Volvo because reliable. You can literally drive them off a bridge.
They're bigger cars.
Bigger cars, and I felt looking at the estate purely because extra room.
Mm-hmm.
If I ever need to carry or take anything, I've no issues at the moment. My back seats don't go down because of the type of car it is.
Oh, okay.
So literally, if it doesn't fit in the boot, it's not going in there.
No.
So again, the estate, but tuck all the back seats down. You've got a huge van.
Is the mileage good on it as well?
Yeah, to be fair. Yeah, which is again another thing I'm looking at.
It's an idea. Well, if you know your way around auctions, that's another bonus, isn't it? To find cars like that.
A friend of mine loves his Volvos. He's non-stop Volvo mad. He's got an old one. I think I'll pull up a picture of one of his old ones as well.
Let's have a look at some pictures, I think.
Yeah. He's got... he had a V70. Unfortunately, that was written off due to someone else, and which is one of my top pictures, if you go up.
I was going to say, I was going to go from the back.
Keep going up. You're at the top, literally. So this one was him getting it dynoed. So there's a place just...
Dynoed? What's dynoed?
So he took his car to get remapped and upgraded.
Oh, okay. So it's the sort of...
It's a rolling
road. Do they
road.
Still call that chipping? No.
There's
chipping and there's... Right.
Yeah, so chipping is sort of a different version of it. It's just an aftermarket chip you plug in, whereas this, he took it to get to a specialist. They took the ECU apart and manually upgraded it that way, as well as upgrading it, really. So it ran a bit faster and it was a lot more economical for him, really.
Yeah.
But no, he's Volvo mad and he's pointing me in the right direction of what to get and what to avoid. So
that's worth it then.
And he fixes his cars himself. So again, any issues.
This is your car, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was in... where is it?
It's a sick looking car though.
No, I don't like it.
It is a sick looking car. I like it.
Near Orwell.
It was near Orwell.
So under the bridge. Okay.
I can't
remember what it's called.
Shotley.
Yeah.
Shotley.
Yeah. So they do every now and again. They do meets on the front of Shotley. So they literally park up on the next to the boats and walk around in the morning, have a good time. That's my friend Ash's GTR.
That's a beast.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be good with a speed ramp.
No.
Speed bumps like
It's quite funny. All my friends have load cars. Yeah, they have to attack it sideways.
The alloys are so big, you just like it's like a slither of rubber.
Yeah, it's a 20-inch wheel out. He's just recently, it's a couple of months, he's had that back and is now running 1200 brake.
Yeah.
So he's put a lot of money and time into that. So
you have a story about this. What is this?
Yeah, so this is brake lights and at the top right, headlights. So
headlights into brake lights.
So it was...
is it one car or is it
cars.
it's two cars?
Sort of oncoming, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I used to, especially on a Sunday when I just didn't have much on and not much to do, I'd just go out, find random spots and just start taking pictures.
Yeah.
Again, trying to improve photography and everything.
Excuse me, Loki's making his cameo. Every single guest I have on has a Loki cameo. Hey, dude, you making your cameo? Thank you. Thanks for your cameo. That's it. Sorry. It's all right, no. It's Loki's cameo. It happens every podcast.
So this is, again, me messing around with the settings on the camera and figuring out what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
My big thing is I'm really interested in nighttime photography.
Okay.
Which is probably not a good thing when you're starting out because it's very difficult.
Do you need specialist equipment for that?
No, not really. It's just you need to really know what you're doing. There's shutter speeds and ISOs, and you need to compensate for the lack of light.
Yeah.
So there's a few. So that one was one of my favourite ones.
This one.
Yeah. So it's literally just it's not.
So that's a rear view mirror.
Yep. It's a side mirror, and it's just some lights in the background.
Okay.
So
so this is basically you playing with the light sources.
Yeah. Dan Harrich.
Yeah. See the I think that you've got there's more lights this side.
Yeah.
There's more lights this side. In fact, actually, if we go out later, because I was gonna I was going to suggest that we go for some food.
Yeah.
I can take you down to the viewing platform on this side, and you'll see the lights. I mean, some pictures that you can get from it.
Yeah.
There's people taking photos all the time down there, so that might be worth a trip. Actually, going and do that.
And that's another one. That was the first time I messed around with the long exposure.
Okay.
So what you do is you set the camera up. Normally when you push the button, obviously it clicks.
Yeah.
That's it. The shutter shutting and taking a picture.
Okay.
With the long exposure, what you're doing is you're telling the shutter to stay open as long as it can.
Yeah.
Or as long as you want it to.
Yeah.
And in that time, it's collecting all the light and all the information at once.
Yeah.
So especially with cars moving, you're catching tail lights, you're catching headlights.
Mm-hmm.
And it stitches into the one photo.
Yeah.
This was me messing around with depth of field. So that is my boot.
At first, I thought it was like marbles or iron shavings or something like that. That's what it looks like, individuals.
So it's my boot, and then I've just had it washed as well and cleaned and
just
polished.
water, isn't it?
And it's just water droplets. So
nice.
yeah, I was just messing around in general with it. So these are from players.
Okay.
So that's the one Northfield in the hangar.
Why? How did you? Is this a filter to?
No, it's actually purple.
So it's that colour purple, but then you've got like some black and white grading.
Yeah, mess around with editing. So
what do you?
Pictures only half the thing.
Yeah, what did you use for your grading and your editing and stuff like that?
It was literally a mobile app at the time. So
it's a mobile app.
Only recently got into Photoshop.
Oh yeah, did you buy the license for Photoshop?
Yeah, so I'm using that at the moment, and I'm learning my way around it and trying different angles and things. So. But yeah, it was that is the actual car of the colour.
It stands out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Stands out.
Again, the black hair, I was messing around with that at the time.
Yeah.
Purely having the colour of the car as the sort of lead.
So what is this? This is a...
So it's a wrap on an Audi R8.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like a Martini livery.
Okay.
So like a weathered style.
Very weathered, yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, it's
quite
weird.
nice, to be fair.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Because I recognised the front. I was like, that looks like an Audi. Yeah. And then it's just like, But it's sort of like it's almost like a Herbie theme.
Yeah. Very similar.
Herbie. Oh, I think that's sponsored by someone.
Yep. I don't think it was at the time, but they just thought...
What is this?
Oh, it's a drifting game. I was uploading a clip.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's not a car.
No.
Some beautiful cars in there.
Yeah.
There are some lovely cars.
But again, that's the thing. I can't afford to own a car like this.
I know, but you can photograph them.
But I can still appreciate them. So
there was
things like that.
That guy that started his YouTube channel that was it was like Hot Cars of London, wasn't it?
Supercars of London.
Supercars of London, and he, after actually just filming cars, photographing cars, he ended up owning cars off of the
some
back
of these
of
are
it.
London. So that's, I want to say Sloane Street.
It's Alfa Romeo.
Yep, there's just a few different pictures. That was at Castle Coombe. Again, that's like a 3-hour drive. So
if you go down to where the Iranian consulate is, there's a lot of hookah bars and various places around there.
Yeah,
I saw just Lamborghinis lined up, like brand new
Chiron.
straight out of the shop.
If you get that one's probably one of my favourites.
Oh yeah, the Porsche.
So outside of Versace.
That Porsche though.
Yeah.
It's funny, some people go crazy over Porsches. I've never really had not that I've ever driven one.
No.
Well, I'm sure people fall in love with them because they actually drive them. But the look of them hasn't been what I would go for.
I think it's more...
It's preference, I guess.
It's and the fact that they are literally a track weapon, that thing. You can drive it to the track, you can set down massive lap times, and and then go home and it's still the same car.
Yeah. I think when I started driving, so on my first job, and I had a banger. I think it's important what you were talking about, like having a banger. I think it's important that you have a banger.
Yeah.
People that kind of jump into new cars or supercars straight after passing their test, I don't think that's a good idea. I think you've got to drive a banger.
I agree.
Because you've got to drive a banger, understand what can go wrong, and it doesn't matter. That's the other thing. And so I had a 1 litre Nova, which my friend's dad built. Yeah. And I mean, that was just, the petrol gauge didn't even work. So I was always guessing how much petrol I had. And it was still unleaded. petrol as well, which was great fun. But where I started work, I actually bought it for my first job, and when I was about 17 or 18. It was in Newport Pagnell, on a road called Tickford Street.
Yep.
Newport Pagnell. It's where the Aston Martin builders are. So Aston Martin was from Tickford Street in Newport Pagnell, and I tell you what, I mean, it's the one place where it was all get built. Every day, guaranteed, up and down that street, you would see Aston Martins, and I just fell in love with so many of them. Yeah. Every range. You know, even like when delivery, like, because they'd always drive them to whoever they were going to deliver them to.
Yeah.
I actually knew some people that delivered like Prince Charles's Aston Martin and stuff like that over. Beautiful cars, and I was immediately like, now that's a car. And Aston Martin for me has always been kind of like the pinnacle of a luxury car.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it combines the two of, like, you know, dirty speed, but it don't look as if it doesn't show it off.
Yeah.
You know, you can still get craziness out of it.
Yeah. It's,
bang bang.
Yeah. Technically, that's legal.
Yeah.
Because the spoiler is protruding more than exhaust, so it's covered by.
Check the DJ set.
Yeah, that was cool. To be fair, it's literally. He opens his boot and he slides out a DJ set. And it was awesome, to be fair. And that was a meet in London, that one.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
God. Sound system wise, that's not your thing, like to build a massive sound system.
Yes, I know. It's difficult with my car, purely because the type of sound system I've got. So from the factory, it's the speakers, and it comes with a sub, an amp, and a load of speakers. Can't tell how many. It's a load. But to get it upgraded and to change them, you actually have to go through and change everything.
Right.
Because of the different ohms from normal stuff. It's weird. So most people don't touch them on the sort of car I've got.
Even with like amps and stuff like that.
Some people do, but that's when you're like fully building it. There's a guy in America selling one at the moment who's fully built it, and it looks amazing. But he's gone through with so much money and time. I just don't have that. Just inclination just to make it sound a bit louder or a bit bassier. Yeah.
So what are the meets you've got booked in for this year then?
There's a few, to be fair.
Yeah. So because I mean we're in winter at the moment, which is a bit of a miffed one.
Yeah. So not much happens at the moment. There's and if it is, it's the evening meets and people just catch up and park car parks and stuff like that. So.
Have you ever gone to any of the meets in Milton Keynes?
No, I've seen a few, but it's just I think it's too far for me to travel, especially at night. If I do travel, it's usually like full day meets. I'll travel really early in the morning and go up there and stay for like the day and like Castle Combe and stuff like that.
So I always knew it was a thing when I was growing up there because, like I said, because of the grid system and everything like that, it was kind of a perfect place for that. But I saw it on the news recently that they were trying to ban it and stuff, and
I think they had an incident end of last year.
So you can drag to the lights. That's the thing. They put speed bumps all in between all the lights, but then there's one road where you've got probably a good mile before the next roundabout or the next light. And so it'd be a light-to-light race, and they would do that a lot. And a lot of people, I think they've come a cropper a little bit. Yeah. That used to happen. So
there is a lot of negativity about car scene and car culture, and it's difficult, especially when you tell someone you're into it. There's sort of an instant stigma attached. It's just like, oh, all right, you're one of those people. And again, a lot of people moan about them, and there is nowhere for them to go. That's the big issue. People moan that, they're turning up at car parks at 2 o'clock in the morning, blah, blah, blah. There is no set place that people can go for this. Yeah. And if there is, it's one day a year in Silverstone or Castle Combe or somewhere like that. Yeah. And so what are you supposed to do the rest of the time? There's no appreciation for it. Nobody's out there to cause trouble. They just want to enjoy themselves and enjoy what they're interested in.
But there's almost kind of like, there is this connection though, isn't there, with the souped up car and sometimes the people that are driving them, and what they're getting up to. You've got a very much of a kind of tracky bottom, baseball cap.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like the standard practice. Like I saw in your picture there, it was just like, I saw a guy in the back, it looked like he was like 50, he was like 55, and he had like, he looked like he was just like there for the car stuff. He didn't look anything like, what they call them Garys, didn't they? Gary or boy racers and stuff like that. And there's you get a lot of stigma on that. But you get that in the States as well. In the States, I mean, like, car meets are associated with gangs.
Yeah.
Gangs of, normally people that are up to no good, are kind of associated with those meets, even if they're just legit. So do you think that'll ever change? I don't think it'll ever change. No. It's quite a masculine thing.
It depends what your class is up to no good.
Yeah.
I mean, again, a lot of what people class as up to no good is sport.
Yeah.
There's a lot that happens around my area, but it happens in a safe and confined area.
Yeah.
And again, the police have come down numerous times and they say, we know what you're up to, we know what you're doing. As long as you're doing it away from the public, we don't really mind too much. Obviously, it's illegal, we're not happy about it, but you're not endangering anyone's life apart from your own. Off you go, sort of thing. It's just, people need a place like that to just do what they want to an extent, but not have to worry about anyone else.
I think it's also the age thing as well.
Oh yeah, I think
it's the age thing as well.
It, I'd say.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, that's said. You don't kind of see too many 60-year-olds kind of like doing that. Imagine if there was like a consortium of 60-year-olds that could afford the cars that they can now. So there'd be Aston Martins, in top of the range, Audi, I don't know, estates or something. Really expensive cars, super expensive cars, probably 3 times the amount of some of the cars that were in there. Yep. But because they're older people, nobody would care because they're sensible. The older people. Is it because of the youth? Because anywhere that youth gathers, they immediately, like, the authorities kind of like, okay, we need to watch this, because when young people get together, bad things happen. Yeah,
no, I'd agree with that. But the issue is, it's, again, not everyone's an issue. But again, some people are, so you can't.
But you got to have those communities, though.
Yeah,
it's the same with nightclubs. It's a necessity. Like, people say, oh, nightclubs and fights and da-da-da-da. But the thing is, people kind of accepting now, because where else are the younger people going to go when you need that element in your life? Yeah. Like, when you need to meet girls, when you need to, have times with your mates, go get some drink. Try and listen to the music that you listen to, not music that somebody else that's not even in your, age group or genre or anything. You're not going to want to listen to their music. Yeah. You have to kind of bring that age group together. But obviously, whenever that happens, you're always going to get some bad apples. Yeah. You're always going to get some bad stuff happen now and again, and unfortunately they blow that all up. So it's just part of human nature, I guess.
It is, unfortunately. I mean, the last big meet I went to, Chelmsford, a night meet, evening thing, I think it was between 3,000 and 5,000 people turned up in this one car park that could barely hold, it was less than 1,000 anyway. Police come and eventually shut it down, and they literally blocked the road to stop people coming in and going out. So they could filter everyone out themselves and contain it. Yeah. But then you get some idiots going around chucking flares at police, and then at that point you just like...
See, that doesn't help.
No, we left at that point. We were like, we don't want anything to do with this. It's just going to get... It looked like it was going to turn into a riot sort of thing. We're like, we don't want anything to do with this.
It's the same with everything. I mean, you'll get loads of people, like football, for example. Yeah. Get loads of people that go there and just want to enjoy the game. Yeah. But then there's this element that just want to go and fight. Yeah. And it's that element that gets highlighted as, a representative of those fans, which, I think is unfair, because it's just like, well, there's a hell of a lot of fans that didn't do that. Yeah. It's a minority that are doing it. It's just it's the same with anything. I think it's human nature. There's tribes, isn't it? It's just like, you got a car tribe, you got a football tribe, you got a young tribe, and it's just a tribal thing.
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, I have been in a few different groups of people, and the group I'm with currently, I get on really well with all of them. They're a lot older than me. Yeah, they're not sort of my age. So with that, they're a lot more sensible.
Yeah.
And they're not just in it for a bit of fun and stuff. It's sort of a passion and a hobby with them, and I can sort of connect with that. And again, they're genuinely nice people, so I get on really fine with them. It's just the car community is a bit hit and miss. You can get people that are genuinely nice, but then I think again it's like life. You'll get people that are just. I think the best terminology is absolute snakes. Yeah, really, I think that's the best terminology. They'll be nice to your face. They'll you've got a great car, blah blah blah, and behind your back they're just saying complete opposite and just not being very nice, you say. Well,
like with most parts of life as well, I imagine the car community is massively benefited from social media to 100%. Coordinate
100%.
And actually publicise what's going on. Because I do remember back when I got my first Golf, it was like, you've got to find, on my 56k modem or something like that, you've got to find, is there a Golf, is there a Volkswagen lovers club? And they meet everything. And it was like, that was the start of it. But now you could just pop up Instagram, couldn't you? And you could see like a million people that are actually like involved in your area.
Yeah, I mean, there's a specific club in London that only publicise their meets through Instagram.
Okay.
There's still a few that are purely word of mouth, and you have to speak to people to get them. It's just Instagram. They won't upload it anywhere else. They won't create an event on Facebook. It's just purely, we'll announce it a couple of hours before. This is where it's going to be. If you want to come, then come along. So
you being someone that's actually now in that community and kind of like savvy of it, what would you actually say to people? So I'm young or old really, new to it, love cars, want to start, maybe being a part of this community and actually going to see these cars live and everything like that. Where do they find that kind of information? I mean, where's some good sources for that? Good communities, positive communities to follow is probably the term I'm looking for.
Again, that's difficult.
50.
Again, I think the best thing to do is if you're driving at the time, join your owners club for a start.
Okay, owners club of the make of your car.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very good place to start because again, you can meet people that have the same car as you. If they've got the same issue as you potentially, they can help you fix it.
Okay.
With my car, it's an absolute pain to get parts from. So I keep getting people pointing me in direction, going, have you tried this place? They ship to the UK. Have you tried this place? And it massively helps. If I hadn't had that, again, with my stupid filling up petrol issue, if I hadn't joined the owners club, I could have spent hundreds of pounds taking it to a garage for them to go, it's your petrol cap.
Are the owners clubs run by the actual manufacturers, or they're just independently set up?
Yeah.
And you just find them online?
Yeah, I just googled Lexus Owners Club, and I think Club Lexus is the sort of the biggest one. And again, they break a lot of stuff down, and they've got a lot of guides and helpful stuff, and it's really good. So that was my first port of call of that. With the sort of other side of car culture, I think big events and meets and stuff like that, I think the best thing to do is Silverstone. Jump on the website.
Yeah, Silverstone's a big event.
Silverstone, somewhere like that, Castle Combe, actual racetracks. Find out. If you jump on the website, they've got calendars. Figure out what they're showing.
What's the Chris Evans one that he does? That's a big car festival that he runs every year as well, isn't it? It's like Car Mania or Car Fest or something.
I'm not sure. There's too many. Way too
many. So there's one that he goes to every year, and it's always a big deal.
What was it? There's the hill climb. I can't remember what that's called though.
So there's quite a few of them. I think the Silverstone one gets booked up. It can be an expensive weekend, can't it?
It can be. It depends, but again, you can find something that cultures and caters for your culture, we say. If you're interested in Jap cars or Japanese stuff, or specifically Hondas, say, obviously they're Japanese, you can go to something called Jap Fest, and it's just specifically for Japanese cars.
Okay.
So, and there's always meets specifically for a certain brand or from where they're made and stuff like that, just to sort of bring people together.
Okay.
So again, it helps if you know what you want to narrow yourself down to. You don't have to. There are, again, Silverstone, there's a lot of events there. Tracks is usually at Silverstone and at Donington. I think I'm going to Donington and then also Jap Fest up in Donington as well. And we're making a weekend of it. We're going to go drive through Cheddar Gorge and stuff like that. And,
Cheddar Gorge, yeah.
Yeah, get some scenery and some nice pictures. There's a beach apparently nearby you can drive on as well.
Oh. Have you ever been over to Europe with it?
No, I'm going this year. So, there's a car group I'm a part of called Blackwall Syndicate.
Okay.
And one of their big things is sort of travel and get about and do different driving holidays and stuff like that.
Oh, driving holiday, that sounds good.
So I'm lucky enough that my friend's going and he's paid for it already, and he's like, do you want to come along? Do you want to jump in? So yeah, he's like, pay half and you can come with me.
Brilliant.
So it's, I think 8, maybe 9 days.
What car has he got?
Audi S1.
Oh, Audi S1. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really nice car. So we're going from, I think it's around Kent. I think it's technically he's going to come pick me up, and then we're going to go from Kent to Austria.
Austria?
Yeah, Austria.
What are the... Oh, so from Kent to Austria, so you're going to go over to Calais.
Yep.
Calais and then drive all the way through to Austria. I'll tell you what, mate, you're going to have a great time.
Stuff like Porsche Museum, Nürburgring. And then when we get up to Austria, there's
Nürburgring,
there's going to be there's a car show every year up in Austria.
Yeah.
It's called the GTI Triffeffen.
Okay.
I might have butchered that, but that's...
Triffeffen.
Yeah, something like that. But it's purely Golf. It's purely Volkswagen, and it's...
That sounds like fun.
It's amazing.
When is this?
I want to say May. I need to check my calendar again.
Okay.
But it's like the biggest one in Europe. People come from all over the world, if not. And this little town gets shut down for like a week whilst all these cars come through, and it's amazing for car culture because, again, seeing other people, it's seeing this, and it's... People respect it and they enjoy it and they treat it differently from the way we do.
That's crazy. That sounds like, because I've always wanted to take mine into Europe and just to say I've done it once, because it deserves it really, because it's been a good car. That sounds really good. I might actually look into that myself.
Again, the way we're doing it, the way with Blackwall Syndicate, they've gone ahead and they've found the hotels and chalets and stuff like that for us.
Yeah.
But they're all 4 or 5-star hotels and chalets.
Lovely.
And for all of that, and
so like music event there as well,
the
like
GTI,
in Austria.
Yeah, it's literally a full weekend, I think, full of stuff. And it's not just cars; it's manufacturers coming out with different things. Yeah, it's like a mini CES, if that makes sense. Just
mini CES.
Yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, the way they do it, Black Wolf, they literally find the chalets, the hotels, and everything, but they get it for dirt cheap. That 8 days. If I was doing it on my own, taking my own car, it's £800, and that's for hotels, and that's for tickets, any and everything, access to Nürburgring. That's everything.
But you're going with someone, so you're halving the cost.
Yeah,
that's so cool. All the petrol, everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not paying a fortune in petrol, so
it's great.
Yeah,
it's the way to do it, isn't it?
It is, and I get on really well with him.
So a good tip there: if you want to go into foreign car festivals, find a friend. Yeah, and just
find a friend who's going, and then jump in.
That's it. Just jump in, pay half the cost. No. We take my car your time one time. We take your car the next.
Old Snake or something.
That's it. Yeah, but that sounds like a good one.
Yeah, purely because I can get. As I'm not driving, I can do photography.
Mate,
I can take pictures.
That's awesome. So, see, that's what that sounds like. That's really what you want to do. So that would, getting back to, that's your man cave, isn't it? So your man cave being your passion, your thing that you want to do. If you didn't have to worry about bills, about working, everything like that, you would photograph cars. You would make a business out of photographing cars.
There's a guy I follow, Larry Chen, on Instagram.
Okay.
That's him. That's all he does. He photographs cars. He's phenomenal. He's like someone I'd aspire to be. He goes to all the racing events and he gets paid by companies to come and take pictures and stuff like that, and the pictures are always gorgeous. They're phenomenal. And that's it. He makes a living from taking pictures. Okay. Yeah, it's like a dream job, so to speak. So
let's for people that are interested, because I'm hoping that obviously people that are listening to this might be interested in actually starting out themselves or something. Yeah. What would you kind of recommend as the starting out kit that you would need to take you can do it on your phone. I do know that, but what have you found has been the best kind of tools to enable you to take the best photos or the next level photos from that initial? Yeah, so what I'd say is that initially, use your phone. So work out different techniques, and if you're really interested in it, that's obviously the big thing. You can do a lot with phones these days and the cameras they've got. With techniques, do you just like watch YouTube videos for them? Or literally, there's a guy called Peter McKinnon. Yeah, I know Peter McKinnon. Yeah, I love Peter McKinnon. It's great, great YouTuber. I love him. He's phenomenal, and he does videos. He does tutorial videos sometimes. His content is just so sharp. Yeah, it really is. I think he's the one that sort of pushed me into photography myself. Really, sort of thing. Because before, again, watching like Larry Chen and stuff like that, seeing it's so polished. It's like you'd pay really a lot of money for photos like that. Yeah, and then looking at it from my point of view, I'm like, I don't know if I can ever take something this good. Right.
But then after seeing Peter McKinnon, it's like, well, I don't have to take anything that's good. It's get my own sort of enjoyment out of it. It's not. Yeah. It shouldn't be for the enjoyment of others. It's not as if it's great that if other people do enjoy it, but I'm only doing it for my enjoyment. So, yeah, no, I think Peter McKinnon is a good shout. He's got a lot of beginner videos and stuff like that.
Peter McKinnon actually got me. He was a major influencer for me trying to do vlogging. Yeah. And actually thinking about the content and everything. It's hard. Yeah. It's not easy to think ahead in your day to day to actually to kind of with that content, but it's engaging. And I think one of the main things about that, and this is, I go back to this every time. This is why I'm interviewing you. I'm interviewing all the people that are on here. It's just like content which relays someone's passion is some of the best stuff to watch. It really is, because, you know, it will never get old. Listening to someone talk about what they're passionate about is always going to be the way. Peter McKinnon is one of the prime people. Peter McKinnon loves making videos. He loves taking photographs. Yeah. And he loves his life doing that, and that all comes through. Casey Neistat, he loves making videos. Yeah. You know, he's a filmmaker. He wants to make narratives. He wants to tell stories. And you can just see it in all that content. You know, I think it's a really good way to start. I think, but that's why I said, just, you know, if you've got something that you love doing, you just got to lean in as hard as you can, because you never know in the modern day that you can, you know, piece together a career out of it.
I think YouTube is a massive platform.
Yeah, it is.
I think one of the statistics I read was that YouTube was the second biggest search engine.
A
lot of people don't see it as a search engine.
Yeah, it is a search engine. Yeah, that's all it is now.
You can pull so much information and so much knowledge from this platform. Use it. Again, how to get to car events and how to get into it. Follow car YouTubers. Yeah. Because they go to events and they host their own events. So go along to one of them. And again, you'll hopefully meet people that do other stuff and meet other people that are interested in the same things and go from there, really. It's I think YouTube is a great place to start.
Definitely.
But it's the photography side of it, there's a lot to learn, but I think YouTube is the good place to start.
Well, there you go. So that's it. That's pretty good. That's all our starting points. I'm just checking how long we've been going for. Yeah, we've been going for about an hour on there. It's been really good. I've learned a hell of a lot about your car. Yeah. And a hell of a lot about how actually getting into car stuff. I must admit, I've never really been, even though I drive a nice car, I like driving a nice car. Yeah. It's the communities are just like, were just a mystery to me. Yeah. And I suppose now it's even better. Is this cameo number 2? Cameo number 2. Get you on the mic.
I think it's one of those things that's definitely worth experiencing.
Yeah, I think the European stuff sounds really exciting. Yeah. I would definitely love to do that. So, but yeah, I catch you for gaming a little bit as well. Yep. So that's the other thing that you like doing as well, is gaming. You're mad in your game at the moment. How many games you got through now?
Oh, I've lost count.
Because you bought a stack, didn't you? You bought a stack, and you just like...
I've done nearly all of them.
Yeah. You've done nearly all of them?
Yeah, I've done 3 of them so far. I think I bought 6 just before Christmas. Okay. I've done 3.
You said Grid was a good one, didn't you?
Yeah, I haven't finished that. I'm still working through it. I'm just enjoying it as I go, because it hasn't really got a story to it. It's just obviously racing, but I struggle to find racing games that I actually enjoy. Yeah. And that one is good. I'm enjoying that, so it gives me a chance to jump in and out of racing games or that when I want to play a racing game. So yeah, just finished Rage 2. That was good. Rage 2. Yeah. A bit buggy, which is a bit frustrating in certain points.
I think it was a good game. It wasn't a perfect game. Yeah, 100%. I think that's what the reviews were of it. It could have been a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah. I really enjoyed it, but I 100% spent more time wandering around a map doing stuff than I did actually story missions. I think there's probably about 12 to 13 story missions, and that's it. So it was a bit disappointing from that point of view, but yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was a really good game. Yeah. I've just borrowed Death Stranding.
Oh, right. You borrowed Death Stranding.
Tom. Yeah.
Nice.
Good friend Tom at work. Yeah.
Did Tom finish it?
Yeah, no, he hasn't even played it yet. So
he's just
Tom's an
it.
amazing human where he buys brand new games and doesn't play them.
And
then I come in and play them for him. So
Tom.
No, he's got such a back catalogue that he buys them and then he's like, I'll get round to it eventually. And then when he's doing that, then I'll play them. So it's great. So
that works perfectly.
Yeah, I played Far Cry 5 recently. Finished that.
What's that?
Far Cry 5.
Oh, Far Cry 5.
I enjoyed that. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't really have any negatives on that. I thought it was Far Cry's. I've enjoyed them all really. I think what else I played.
Well, we're playing Borderlands 3, haven't we?
Yeah, playing that.
I've kind of gone ahead with it, but it feels quite numb. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like
it doesn't feel like Borderlands.
It doesn't feel. I don't know whether it's the shooting or it doesn't feel. Nothing feels like it's got any impact. Like when I'm shooting people, it doesn't feel like there's any impact. It feels like all I'm doing is ringing up numbers.
Yeah.
And then suddenly they go, ugh.
Yep.
And it doesn't, you know, when you hit, I suppose I'm a little bit spoiled because we've been playing Destiny for a while, which is like every hit on those enemies, you know, with a different weapon will impact them a little bit differently. Like, you know, they'll kind of reach and it's, damn, that was a good shot. Or, you know, your shot was a body shot or your shot was a head shot. With Borderlands, it feels like you're just like shooting kind of like 2D pictures with lots of things. And half the time I can't actually see the enemy because all I can see is numbers and like my character, like my dog eating them. Yeah. And I can't actually see what I'm shooting like most of the time. It's really quite, it's a bit off-putting. It's a good game. It is a good game, but it's, we
only paid £20 for it, so...
Exactly.
For £20, I'm happy.
Oh, absolutely.
If I'd paid full price, I don't know if I would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a different story, but...
But the thing is, with Borderlands, it's always been about the DLC as well. I mean, they go ham on the DLC. They really do. I would like a Game of the Year edition... eventually, or a Game of the Year pack. I don't like buying individual DLC and just going through it and everything. But I think the only one I did that with was Spider-Man. Yeah. Where I bought all of them as they came out, and that was sort of worth it. But I platinum that game. It was a good game.
I platinum that as well.
That was a good game.
Yeah, I like frustrated on that one. Not another Tom Borrow, but
was it?
Yeah. So I got to the end of the game and then realised I'd been spending all my points. And I couldn't buy all of the suits. So I then had to go back and play it again so I could buy all the suits.
See, I
got frustrated with that one.
I got all the way to the end and then bought all my suits.
No, I was buying stuff as I was going. I was like, I'm going to make myself better and made it easier, so to speak.
Yeah, I didn't buy as many upgrades as I should. I should have bought more upgrades. It wasn't until
you bought all of them. So.
I should have bought the upgrades. I bought the upgrades just for the challenges because I found the challenges were so challenging that I realised that I needed to upgrade to do all the kind of extra challenges that were on there. But I did that. But Battlefront, my friend actually called me up and he says, "Oh, tell me what you're going to do later," because he wants to play. He wants a LAN party. we do that. He comes around here. He only lives over the road, and he comes over here and he kind of like, I set him up with a monitor. And he'll sit on the couch probably with a monitor and a TV, and I'll sit on that TV and we'll just basically play LAN. But we'll be online, so it'd be the same as us.
Yeah, being in separate
houses. But he's got a little Labrador as well, so you can bring him around here and bother Loki, which he'll love. But I'll tell him I'll get a call. So what I'm going to suggest that I actually take you down to the seafront and actually show you this dock thing because you've seen it from the other end. And I was going to say, do you like fish and chips?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
You don't mind it? We can get some fish and chips down there, and it is good fish and chips.
Okay.
So we can do that as well. So we can actually multi. If we take any pictures, then I will post them up on this channel, and I'll post them after. Yeah. I'm going to leave links and everything in there. It's been great, man. It's great to actually hear about how you got into it and your passion and everything like that. It'd be good. Come back and do it again. By all means, and definitely after you do that Austria trip, I want to know all about it. I want to see all the pictures. We can do all the pictures on there as well. That'd be really good. So, thank you very much, and it was great to have you.
It was a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Okay, goodbye, everybody.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.